Hello ladies, today we're going to talk a little bit about what is a mix. I posted a comment on Facebook and asked if it would be of any interest. A question came up recently of what is the mix. So I explained what it was, and I kind of noticed there is a lot of brand new people that I have on my channel. So thank you guys for subscribing first of all. But again, there is also people that are trying to learn, trying to understand, trying just different stuff, right? And of course, we have the veterans that have been on YouTube way longer than I have. So I have been on here for I think about a year and a half or so. So it's not that long, but you know, I started doing the mixes and everything. So let's get started. So I kind of wrote down the questions just so that I wouldn't forget. So my first question is, what is a mix? So this is a mix. Right here, this is a mix that I made. This one I called it chocolate chip mix. But a mix basically means it's a mixture of glitters. Different types of glitters, different types of sizes, and that you mix together to make one nice mix. So in other words, you're mixing that to make this. So this is an old mix, but this is what you're basically trying to do. Now these, of course, are for acrylic nails, but when you go to this, when you guys that do acrylics you kind of buy products that contain little containers, right? I'm using this as an example because this is the one that I had on hand. But I mean, you get them with 8. This one has 8, some have 6. And they each have mixes in there. But like this one, for example, this is a mix. So when you mix, I don't know if I opened this one. Oh, I didn't open this one. But when you mix, you get a color and glitter. I'm going to see if this one's open. So there you go, see? This one already has clear acrylic pigment and glitter in it. So it's kind of the finished product of this into this, okay? And of course, as you can see, this is about, I'm gonna say about a teaspoon in here, a little more, little, I don't say less, but around that much. When we pay for this, this will cost us up to $32 each collection. Now, if you have the money for all the collections for any type of brand, not just this one, then by all means, you should go for it. You know, if I had the money, I would personally buy these every single time. But I don't. So what do? We try to make it possible so that we have different types of nails every time we want to change them. Like I said, the mix contains different things in here. So it's depending what you're doing it for who, and what your theme is. That's basically the mix. This is what it looks like once you add the clear acrylic. And I'll tell you in a little bit how much acrylic I add. But once you swatch it, this is what you end up with. So swatching means getting your acrylic brush and dipping it in monomer and, you know, putting, like here, this is a swatch. Like if you're gonna make an acrylic nail, it's ready. This, what I have here, it's also a glitter mix. Even though it doesn't have a lot of different types of things, it's a mix. And this is what it's for your nails. So let me show you the glitters you can put. So let's start. We have here, this is from Martha Stewart. So there's collections that they sell for these, and I think they come in 12 or 24 packs, okay? And there's just different themes. And this one right here is Sugar Cube, but this hexie is a bigger hexie. It's a chunky, iridescent one. They also have Recollections, and these are called Spangles, which are the shapes, not necessarily glitter, but shapes. And these are hearts. So this is from Recollections again. These have a variety of containers in one package. Then we have here the Spark, and this one's the Sunflower, and these right here are called tinsel. So there's short and long tinsel. This one's from Spark, and again, this is another one that comes in collections. Then we have another one, it's from the Wild Glitters, which is the same, comes together, these, but same, this is a finer glitter and comes in different colors in a collection. We have as well Recollections, and then we have some other ones that are shakers that we get from Walmart or sometimes Target as well. So the other ones you can find at Michael's. All these collections you can find at Michael's, and if you're lucky, sometimes you can find them at Ross. Most of the time, I get my stuff from glitterlovers.com, which is my majority of glitters, or I get them from Glitter Unique. So these are from like Glitter Unique, and these are bows, which are spangles, and they're holographic, and you can't really see it in here, but they shine different colors in the sunlight, very pretty. The same goes for this one. This one's dots, which are 0.78, so they're not that small, they're not that big, but this is something you can use as well. We have here from Glitter Unique as well the short slices. Now these come in short or long. The ones that I showed you here are longer, and these are shorter, so you can kind of see it, and it tells you the size on there. And then you can also get, in this right here, what I have is the leopard spots. So they have butterflies, they have hearts, they have stars, they have skulls, they have, I don't know, galore of different shapes you can put. And like I said, these are just basic places that I buy them in, but there's, I don't know, a whole bunch of other places you can find glitters on. And we like to share, you know, and say, hey, I found these glitters cheaper here or cheaper there. And that's the whole point of doing a mix, just to try to save ourselves money, to try to make things work for us. I have here this one right here, which are diamonds, and they're holographic, and these are 2.0, so they're tiny diamonds. You can see, and like I said, they're holographic. We also use Mylar, which is the flakes. They look like flakes, and these come in a variety of colors, and they shine. They're iridescent, so they shine. So this is something else we put on it. Here are some other spangles that have a hollowed out center. So there's some hearts in different colors, stars, same way. Now I would recommend just using the iridescent ones, because the ones that are holographic or shiny bleed, meaning they lose their color once you put monomer on them. So you kind of got to check. All these glitters that I'm using, they're all solvent resistant. Solvent resistant meaning they're not going to bleed in your mixes. So if you mix together, let's say this tinsel and these hearts, you're not going to have the color purple on all the mix. If you kind of know what I mean, you'll just get, you know, it's clear and it just has that. Some glitters do bleed, which means they lose their color, and most of them are the ones that are metallic colors. They're the ones that lose the color gold, let's say, if they're gold holographic, and they'll stain all the clear glitters that are on your mix. Moving on, so we have, this is from glitterlovers.com, and this one is the smallest, which is the ultra fine 0.004, and this one's like thin, and this moves like liquid. Dodie, who is the one that sells these, she shows it and says this moves like liquid, and it literally does, because it is so fine. It's extremely fine. And then we have another one that is a 0.008, which is a little bit thicker than this one. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's chunkier. And then we have it to go chunkier yet, which is a 0.040, which is a bigger type of glitter. And then we move to the 0.062, which is even bigger than this one. So they kind of move into sizes. That's the basic thing that we're doing here, that it's just moving from size to size, from biggest to smallest, or from smallest to biggest, depending. And then we have this one, which is a 0.015, which is super tiny, not as tiny as the fine, but you see it. So it starts getting bigger, and we have dots. Like I said, this is a 0.78, which is a little bigger. And then we have a square also that is a 0.62. So it's a variety of like glitters and shapes that you can put any color. Honestly, you kind of have to go with the color wheel, kind of trying to stay with something that goes together. Finally, you can also add pigments, which is kind of like a chalky powder, and this actually gives color to your mix. So if you just want to make a mix with no glitter, then you mix it with a pigment and you get something like this. Okay, so this is, you know, the pigment, and it'll just give you a solid color. If you add pigment and glitter, you can make a mix like this. So it gives you a background of the glitters, but you still have that color popping out on you. Mixes can be used on nails. They can also be used, I found it, on resin. So these are resin pieces that I made. But you can use mixes for your background. See, like all these are all glitters, the same ones I use for the nails. So all of these are mixes and can be used in the resin as well. And I believe you can use them on nail polish as well, but I have not done nail polish with glitter yet. So I invite that any of my other ladies that have done the polish with the mixes, please, if you can do a video so that other girls can see, because I know that was another one of the questions. And also, this is one of the mixes that you can do with the pigment. See, so it's a solid color, and it's just the color. You don't want spark or nothing, it's just the color. And of course you're gonna mix with an acrylic powder, and this is clear. You want it to be clear so that your glitters shine through. So this is mixed with clear. If you do it with another color, obviously it's going to come out with the other color. The ratio that I use is for every, let me see, we use teaspoons when we do mixes. So if you want to give one out, let's say you're going to get one of these little Ziploc baggies, one of the tiny ones, then you're going to put a teaspoon of the mix in here. 1 teaspoon. So it's this right here. And you measure, put it in, and this is what you share with other people. This is what you give. This is what you sell. This is it, right? 1 teaspoon. When you do the mixes, let's say you're doing it with one of these. A lot of us use these as scoopers. And if you're going to do that, so you use 1 scoop of mix with 3 scoops of clear acrylic. Okay, so it's a 103. I found that to be the most effective, where the acrylic is still good enough to be molding around, to moving around, and it's not too watery, it's not too chunky. So I thought that it was good. You can also use these tiny containers to store them in if it's going to be for you. There's larger ones. These are the large ones, these are the smaller ones. And of course, if you have other different containers, Gerber containers, whatever you want to use to cover, then you can do so. I think that's all I can basically tell you of what a mix is. If you have any further questions or comments, let me know down below. And go ahead and ask me, and I'm going to try to answer as much as I could. I'm trying to fit a lot in one video. I know it's long as it is already, but again, ask me what you need, and other ladies that have been doing this, if you guys see that there's something else that you guys can do a video on, that you guys can send information to people, please do so. And anywho, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can catch me on Facebook, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.